normally. I've never been accused of being normal. So I want to do things not differently, but I want to kick off a little pizzazz tonight. So I need 3 of the smartest individuals in the room. 3. You want to be one? You want to be one? Come on. You want to do it? Who else? Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on. Don't be shy. You, don't look around. Let's see. Well, I got 2 from over here. I need somebody from over here. You pretty smart? Pretty smart? Come on. All right. So, give him a hand. All right. You guys on that side. So what we're doing tonight is just a little trivia contest. And so I know you're like, oh man, trivia, he's gonna bring in an expert. I am. So if I'll have my boy Eli come up. Eli, come on, dude. Yeah, give a hand for Eli, bro. Come on, buddy. All right. Eli here is my expert. So we're just gonna play a little game of Are You Smarter Than a First Grader? Okay? Super easy, right? So I've got some questions. All right, Eli hasn't heard the questions yet. You guys haven't heard the questions yet. It's a fair contest. So, all right, let me get them out here. Let me get my game show notes going on, all right? Tonight on Are You Smarter Than a First Grader, we have the defending team, the youth. And then we have the reigning champ, Eli. All right, youth, your first question. Who is the tallest man on the world, and how tall is he? Decide.
Are we talking living or deceased?
Living. Who is the world's tallest man, and how tall is he? I'm going to start counting down if we don't come up with something, dude.
I don't know his name, but I know he's
4, 3, 2,
8'7".
1. All right, 8'7". That's a good guess. Michael Jackson at 8'7". All right, Eli. Will you test? Is this
testing?
All right, Eli. Who is the world's tallest man, and how tall is he? The world's tallest man.
Ever or alive?
Ever.
Robert Wadlow, and he's 8'11".
The world's tallest man is Robert Wadlow at 8'11". Hey, you can get me on a technicality. You weren't gonna get it. All right, whatever. Question 2, here's a good one. When was the Great Wall of China built?
Was it like 1788 or something like that?
No. Dang, 1788. All right, Eli, could you please tell everybody in the room when the Great Wall of China was built?
220 BC.
It was built in 220 BC. For those of you math whizzes in the room, that is nowhere close to 1780, all right? Question 3. I feel like you need a shot, all right? Ready? Oh, this one's easy, okay? Who were the first 5 presidents? Hold on, wait, let her think. George Washington.
John Adams.
You've made it farther than I would have. I want you to know that right now.
George Washington,
John Adams.
Oh my gosh.
2 of 5. That's still a failing grade. That's what my teachers told me.
Thomas
Jefferson. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. All right. I will let you know those first 3 were correct. All right. Eli, could you please tell them the first 5 presidents of the United States?
George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison.
Yep.
James Monroe.
Yeah, one more. Hey, 4 out of 5 is pretty good, buddy. 4 out of 5 is pretty good. That was 3. That was 5? Hey, I told you I was bad at math, right? I mean, I was being transparent there for a second. All right, okay. Last 2 questions. And I tell you what, these last 2, winner take all, okay? Winner take all. You guys could walk away with a win tonight. Number 4, when did Leonardo da Vinci die? Leonardo da Vinci, he's a person, not just a Ninja Turtle. Chill out. Give it a go. Give it a go.
I think it was 1529.
1529 is incorrect, but you're going to be upset. Eli, when did Leonardo da Vinci die?
1519.
1519 is the correct year. So you were pretty close. You were pretty close. Lastly, and I would argue one of the more easier questions that I've given up. What years did the Civil War happen?
Oh, I know this.
Do you know it? Because
Yes.
not so far. The Civil War.
It was 1861 through 1865.
Guys, he did it! Yeah! Eli, I want to give you, I know you know. When was it?
1861 and 1865.
He's in first grade, people. All right, you guys can go sit down. You guys can go sit down. Go sit down. Eli, high five, dude. How about for my boy Eli, dude? Oh, yeah. Go sit down. Man, dude, let me tell you, Eli is one of the smartest kids. We didn't brief him. That's just stuff he knows. Like, he is so stinking. Eli, dude, yeah. Eli is super dope. Eli. Eli, they love you, dude. They love you. But why all this? Why all this history trivia? Why does it matter, man? Just because as a kid, I can remember being Eli's age and sitting down and watching the History Channel with my dad. Anybody ever been on the History Channel? It's got some weird stuff on there now, man. Let me tell you, that kind of ancient alien stuff. They're talking about UFOs and pyramids. I ain't about it. And to be honest with you, Bigfoot, not a chance, all right? But when I was a kid, me and my dad would sit down and we would listen to stuff about like the Salem witch trial. We would hear about like the first Olympics. We would hear about ancient Rome. I'm a Wild Wild West fan myself, so we heard all about Tombstone and where it was. So we would sit down, and as I got older, I realized that I really enjoy history and just this idea of things happening to people, because I started to get a pattern built up. I'd be like, okay, well, there's a group of people, and then there's an event, and then something changes. And then there's a group of people, and then there's an event, and then something changes. And we can plug this formula in. 9/11, all right? We were a group of people, something happened, and then now to get through TSA, it is almost impossible, all right? But let's keep going. Pompeii, all right? Pompeii's with the volcano. So a group of people, something happened to them. If you don't know what Pompeii is, it's a volcano. It wrecked the whole village. They got a whole movie about it. It's not historically accurate. Don't go watch it. Anyway. But now, apparently, you can't live so close to a volcano because of something in history that they've dug up. So it's this repeat pattern. So when I set off and I was like, man, dude, I love Jesus. I want to learn more about him. When I dove into the Bible, I found out it's just history. Like a lot of it is just telling you about a group of people and something happens to them and then something changes. A group of people, something happens to them, something changes. And it was this super cool idea. And so one of my dreams throughout history has always been to unearth it. Man, I want to go to Jerusalem, and I don't care if they have me dust off a fork and pull it out. I'm like, oh, dude, hey, that piece of fork is me. I did that. Claimed, done. Pots, jewelry, whatever it would be. I just want to unearth something. And one of my favorite things that they've ever unearthed is this place right here. So this place is found in the book of John, John 5. That's where we're going to be tonight, John 5. So if you got your Bible, if you got your phone, we're going to be in John 5. But in John 5, it tells us about a place called the Gate of Bethesda, all right? The Sheep's Gate of Bethesda. And that is this place. And so when they went looking for it, historians actually went to the Bible and they were like, hey, the Bible says it's here. Let's go try it. And they dug it up. And so it's just history. Like this book isn't just stories. It's not that. It's actual events, okay? Go ahead and hit that next slide. So this, what you saw is what they dug up. This is what they imagined it to look like. From what they've dug up, they've recreated it. And so the Pool of Bethesda was actually uncovered in 1888 outside of the city of Jerusalem, exactly where the Bible said it was going to be. And you're going to read tonight that a lot of people would go here. This was a place of popularity. See, people would go here because in their culture, they had to do ritualistic things. Like you had to be clean for a holy day, so it means you had to go get a bath. And this is some place where they would, could y'all imagine bathing in the same water? That'd be weird. I've seen some of y'all. No, okay? All right? But this place, not only was it this place that you could go and get clean, but it was also said to hold something. And they said in this water, we'll read it tonight, it would bubble up at some point, and the first person in it would be healed of whatever disease they had. And scholars have speculated this. I mean, just Clash of the Titan kind of stuff. A verse that is often taken out of the Bible because they can't through manuscripts is that an angel would come down and they would stir the water up and it would bubble and the first one in it would be healed. Another scholar believed that you can see it's got two houses almost, right? And these houses were two different pools that would level each other out. I don't know if you're science freaks or not, but they would level each other out because they were connected in the middle. And so they said that when water would gather in one pool and it would go to level out in the other, it would cause a bubbling, and it was through this and more of a placebo in your brain to be the first person. That's what they said would heal you. And lastly, one scholar, and this is possibly one of the better ones that I heard that wasn't crazy, was he believed that this was actually connected to a hot spring. And that when this hot spring would get hot and bubble up, it would shoot up a bunch of like minerals, like almost like a salt bath of sorts, or like an Epsom salt bath for like to heal you. And it was those minerals plus the warm water that would help cure your disease. But what I want to make this point is people flocked here. This was a popular place that people went, and they were all in search of something. Whether it was to get clean or whether it was the bubbling of this water, that's what they were in search of. So it's this idea of people going somewhere for something that gets us here today. And so the title of today's message is The Pool or the Person? The Dangers of Attractional Ministry. And if you don't know who I am, man, I'm Reed. If it's your first night with me, I hope you like your head moving back and forth because I walk around and talk a lot, all right? So just get used to it. But the pool or the person, the dangers of attractional ministry. So, I have something that I want to say before I dive into this. And this is going to be one of the harder things for me to ever do because I don't like being the bad guy. I don't like playing that role. It's not who I am. It's not where my heart is. But tonight is going to be tough. Some of you need to take a deep self-reflection. And I say that because at one point it was me. At one point I missed it. I was going and doing the same things over and over and over. And I was showing up to the same place just like some of y'all are doing. And I was wondering why things weren't changing. I just didn't get it. But I want you to know that there is hope. And I want to give you this process, and you can go ahead and write these 3 points down, all right? You need to really be honest with yourself, and then after you are honest, you need to have a willingness to hear. You need to have a willingness to hear. You need to repent. Admit you've done wrong, man. We're not all perfect. I'm not perfect. And then you need to reshape. So hear, repent, reshape. And I promise if you do these 3 things, you will find God's direction for your life. I know I believe in a God who does that for people. So, let's get into this, dude. All right, John chapter 5, verse 1 through 9. Okay, throw it up there. It says, afterward, Jesus returned to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish holy days. Inside the city, near the Sheep's Gate, was the Pool of Bethesda, with 5 covered porches. Crowds of sick people, blind, lame, or paralyzed, lay on the porch. One of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him and knew he had been ill for a long time, he asked them, "Would you like to get well?" And verse 7 is possibly one of the saddest replies I have ever read in Scripture. He looked Jesus in the face and he said, "I can't, sir." "I can't, sir," the sick man said, "for I have no one to put me in the pool when the water bubbles up. Someone else always gets there ahead of me." Jesus told him, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and walk." And instantly the man was healed. He rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking, but the Jewish leaders objected. They said to the man who was cured, you can't work on the Sabbath. So, we need to start somewhere tonight. And so when we talk about attractional ministry, I don't want to lose you, okay? So I actually have a definition of attractional ministry. Will you go ahead and put that up? So attractional ministry, what is it? What do you do? How do we identify it? So what it is it focuses on entertaining or on a secondary ideals to draw people. So it's focusing on entertaining or on secondary ideals to draw people. So this is what I'm going to give you all a second to write that down, all right? So we read this definition, and a lot of the times we get okay with that, if I'm being honest. We just get okay with this. Like, hey, man, we're getting people to the party, bro. They're coming. They're showing up. Like, what's wrong? Like, I did my part. And then we stop. We kind of put our hands in the air and we give up. But I want you to know that this is dangerous. This is a snake in the grass. This is the devil in disguise, dude. This is dangerous. And so why? Why so dangerous? Why such an emphasis? Why would we spend a whole night talking about this? And because I want you to know it's important, and I want you to know the first danger starts here. And it's, are we missing it? Are we missing it? Are you missing it? Let's go back to our story for a second. See, the man was at the pool of water. He was looking for a healing. All he thought about day in and day out was this pool. All he thought about for 38 years, this fool laid there waiting for some bubbles. I'll be honest with you, sometimes I put some soap in the bath and I wait 3 minutes. No way in anything am I waiting 38 years for some silly little bubbles, all right? But this dude was willing to do it. I mean, I would have got bored. I'm a back sleeper. I don't know if y'all know that about me, but like I get cramps sometimes if I don't just lay on my back. But for 38 years, ain't no way I'm doing that, okay? But this fool just laid there, all right? But I want you to know tonight that he was there looking for something. And whatever you're looking for, whatever you are doing here changes everything. Whatever you're looking for here changes everything. Because let me be honest with you guys, this place is the place, am I right? This place is the place to be. Y'all, man, dude, Generation Youth, y'all are pretty awesome, right? Right? Y'all are pretty cool. Man, dude, youth comp was crazy. Worship was off the chain. I don't know if y'all still say that or not, but people were crying and people were praising. Dude, it was awesome. And then I was like, oh, that is so cool. I'm going to move 8 hours away and be a part of it. And then y'all have bots, dude. Who was at bots? Dude, yeah. If you didn't go to Botch, dude, it was so cool. I don't know if my boy Mason is in the house, but I watched him actually punch through a watermelon at one point. And I was like, oh, I'd hate to be on his bad side. And then, not only that, but y'all played tug of war. And some of y'all got really upset with me. Don't get mad. And y'all kept pulling and pulling until you couldn't tug a woe no more. Can I get a holler for somebody, please? Man, dude, this place is the place to be. We have fun, don't we? We have lots of fun. Yeah, dude, this place is the place we get competitive sometimes. Y'all come to hang out, have a good time. But I want to ask you, like, is that why you're here? Is that why you're here? Because we can get a little hype over some pickleball? Because we can have a good time. I'll be honest with you, man. We can have a super good time. But is that the number one reason you're here? See, a lot of the times when we talk about attractional ministry, we skip over the entertaining part. Man, we ain't here to entertain nobody. But we have these secondary ideals. And adults in the room, I don't want you to think I'm just preaching to the youth. Not for a second. It's not just them, it's us. We're a body. We're a body. Because some of y'all, man, you're here for your boyfriend. You're here for your girlfriend. I see you. If I'm being honest, that was the first reason I came to a Wednesday night. Not right now, that'd be weird. But like when I was young, right? I got a beard now. Things have changed, okay? But let me tell you, some of y'all are just here to meet a person. Some of y'all are here because you're like, oh, man, that boy, he kind of cute. All right? I get it. And not just that, some of y'all are here for the food. Where are my caffeine addicts at? Yeah, he gets it. His hand went up first. I know he's dosed up tonight, okay? I don't know. Hey, those cans do say 18 or older. Someone needs to ID that kid, BT Dubs. So get him at the door. Don't put your hands up. You're already done, kid. But listen, some of us are after that caffeine, that coffee. Dude, Diana makes a killer cup of coffee if you ain't met her, bro. Yeah, she is stellar. What about this, dude? What if some of y'all ain't got nothing else better to do? Some of y'all, Tuesday rolled around, Wednesday rolled around, you hadn't given a thought about youth. But then Wednesday night, oh man, I don't really want to stay home. My siblings are kind of annoying. I don't really get along with my parents. What else am I going to do, right? All my friends are going to youth, so I might as well go. Some of y'all are here for the games. And I'm going to be honest, if it's a trivia game, some of y'all really need to brush up because your history facts are not good, okay? Some of y'all are just here to gather, to hang out with your friends, to be in a community. And hear me out, what I don't want you to hear is me beating that stuff up, because I'm not. None of that stuff is bad. None of that stuff isn't the worst thing in the world, okay? But I want you to hear, is that the first thing? Is that the first thing? And this goes back to being honest, because there was a time where I knew the answer. I knew what the billboard quote was. I knew, no, man, I go to church for Jesus. But that's not what I went to. When Wednesday night rolled around, man, I get to hang out with my friends. Man, when Wednesday night rolled around, man, they make the best coffee. Man, dude, it's so cool there. We have so much fun. We play games. And then all of a sudden, where your mind goes first, Jesus becomes the second thing. See, the dangerous part of it is it's flashy. And although these things are cool, they have a tendency to pull you. They have a tendency to want to share the spotlight and then want to own the spotlight when they have no place in it. See, these things are dangerous. So what I want to ask you is, what are you here for? See, some of y'all are coming for the attraction. The man was at the pool, and he was just there waiting on waters to bubble. He was at the pool. See, he was at the place where everyone told him to be at. You need to be there on Wednesday nights. Hey, brother, you need to be at that pool. If you want to find healing, the pool's the place to be. All right? He was there. He was waiting, trying to be. He was with everybody else. He was at the common place. He wanted to be a part of something so bad that had everybody buzzing, that had everybody talking about it. He was there waiting on something. See, he was there for the attraction. The problem with the attraction is whatever you come to see, that's what your heart's after. Whatever you really came for, that's what your heart's after. I don't want you to miss this. These are just four walls. Inside or outside this person does not change you at all. If you're worried about the coffee in here, you're going to go worry about the coffee out there. If you're worried about being with your friends here, guess what? On Friday night when that party comes out, you're just going to want to go hang out with your friends. Adults, some of you guys, you think like you just sit there and you're like, no. That's the place to be. That's the place I need to be. I need to be there for him. No, dude, this is the word of God. You're here for you. You're here to find Jesus, to disciple somebody. You're here for somebody too. It's not just a building. This place doesn't change you. Whatever you're here for is what you're gonna find. See, the man was at the pool for the healing, but he almost missed what he actually got. The healing was just the beginning of what happened to him. It was just the beginning, and he almost missed it because of the attraction in front of you. Eye cancer? How sad is that? He's talking to the Messiah, the healer of healers, the breaker of chains. I can't? That's because he was so worried about what was in front of him. I love the zoo. Let's take a break. All right? Let's just pump the brakes for a second. That was getting weird for me. Man, I love the zoo. My favorite animal in the entire world, bears. Bears in the office. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Haley here? Haley, yeah, shout out Haley, if she's still here. I love bears, dude. And one of my favorite things is going to the zoo. But really, when I invite people to the zoo, I just want to see the bears. Man, I don't want to hear about them stupid little kitties. Walk right past the lions. I don't want to see the monkeys swinging, all right? Take me to the bears, bro. The polar bears, the black bears, the brown bears. There's only 3. That's a short trip to the zoo for me, all right? I'm there for the bears. And when I bring other people, I said, hey, man, let's go to the zoo. And the zoo is full of awesome, cool things, but I really just want to see the bears. And after I've got done looking at them, I'm done. I don't want to see anything else. I don't want to see the silly little penguins flipping through the water, eating dead fish. I ain't about that. I definitely don't want to go see them spiders. I got enough anxiety as it is. I don't need to be in that place. And apparently someone decided to give them a whole house with glass cages. No, bad idea. See, I tell you, I love the bears, but the only reason I go is because I want to see them. And when I bring people with me, that's all I want them to see. So when you bring people here, what are you wanting them to see? What are you wanting them to see? Because I can be honest with you, if you're just here for some bubbles, man, we'll start up the fog machine. Listen, if you're here for some flashy lights, I can get with my girl Kara, and she makes the coolest light show that you have ever seen. Dude, she'll have this place buzzing. If you're here for some good music, man, we'll fire the band back up. Bring Doug back out. Bring Andy back out. Those people can sing, am I right? Shout out to the band. Those people are awesome, dude. Man, that's awesome. If y'all came here for a good message, maybe come back next week, okay? But listen, all of that stuff is cool. All of that stuff is awesome, but that stuff ain't gonna change your life. That stuff is cool, but that's not gonna change your life. And so what do we do after we've real dove deep into us? What am I here for? What am I here for? What am I seeing? What was the first thing I thought about when I was like, man, I'm going on Wednesday. Man, I'm showing up to church on Sunday. What am I there for? See, the real danger and the hardest thing for me to swallow when I was putting this message out was this one. And it's the secondary aspect. And it's the danger of the attraction, is it doesn't change people. It doesn't change people. See, if you build up this attraction and you're telling everybody about it and you're like, man, you got to come see this thing. When they get here, the thing is all they'll ever see. Man, you got to come check out the music. Well, they're going to listen to the music, but I mean, that just happens every week. That's nothing different. They're going to see the cool lights. They're going to get the good food. They may get an okay message from a 25-year-old. But like, that's all they'll get. See, the problem is when you invite them here with those things in your direct sign of your sight, the first thing on your mind, those people are going to show up with their hurt. They're going to show up with their baggage. They're going to show up with their sickness and their history. They're going to show up with their labels. They're going to show up with their wounds. They're going to show up with their hopes, their dreams, their desires. They're going to show up with their lives. And the hard truth is, you will be bringing them into a wondrous place, a wonderful place to see attraction, but they'll miss the miracle. They'll miss the miracle. You're bringing them here, don't miss this, to die. That's it. And that's a hard pill to swallow. See, I want to point this out. That man was at the attraction for 38 years. He stood and looked at that pool, blamed that pool, blamed himself, blamed everybody else, and the attraction didn't change him. The attraction couldn't help him. See, if we make this place an attraction, if we make it just about the music, if we make it just about the message, if we make it just about our friends, if we make it just about ourselves, I want to be very clear here. I know God will still show up. Because the God I serve moves mountains with a mustard seed of faith. The God I serve separates rivers of doubt, depression, and anxiety. The God I serve went and died on a cross for me and got up 3 days later. That's the God I'm about. I know He's not done. And I know that God could use whatever you put in front of Him. So I don't want you to miss it. He'll move. He'll do things. He is God. He will. He is the great I am. But if we make this place the attraction, it will never be all it was meant to be. See, when we allow aspects of the world to find ground in our place of worship, we've missed it. We've missed it. And that's just the cold, hard truth. See, we bring people here with the idea of this attraction in mind, and we never show them the Christ we were supposed to in the first place, because that's what it's about. This place where people should find healing can become a very dangerous place very quickly. Because really, those who come suffering, those who come hurt, need to find the only person who can actually heal them. Need to find. I was talking with Pastor Tyler about this week, and I was kind of wrestling with this message, dude, because it's heavy. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's hard. And I was like, Tyler, I don't know if I'm getting it. I don't know if I've expressed it enough. And he laid this on me, man. And he said, imagine taking your friends and your family who have been in a terrible accident. They've been hurt, some kind of horrific thing, and you wheel them into the ER and you're panicking, and all you want is for them to be in the right place, and you've got them to the right place, and you've tried so hard to get them there. You had to fight through the traffic, and you had to fight through the excuses, and then you wheel them into the ER, they take one look at them, and they start giving them a tour. They say, yeah, man, these are our IV bags. This is what we use to give people fluid. Over here we have the x-ray machines. This is where we see if you broke your bones. Over here is where we have the scalpels and the stitches, and this is what we use for surgery and to stitch you back up. And as they're sitting there, laying, hurting, dying, they're getting a tour of the place. Imagine how much hurt that would cause. Those are your friends, your family. Imagine the hurt that Jesus has walked you out of. People are still experiencing out of these walls. There are people out there who are fighting with depression. I would argue that some of us are fighting with depression. Some of us are fighting with anxiety and truth and what our home looks like and all of these things. And you come to the place and all you're getting is to look at the tools. Man, I want a healing. I want to be honest with you. I want to resurrect family trees. I want my family to be resurrected. I don't want to wheel them into an ER and just have them explore all the tools that they could use to operate them. I want Jesus to come here and operate on people. I don't want him to come in here and look at all the flashy stuff. We'll strip the walls down and make this place bare. I know Jesus is going to move. I want people to find healing. I want people to be set free and delivered. And do y'all want that too? Is that what y'all want? I got to know. Because we're going to move into one of the hardest parts of this all. Is that I know some of y'all come into this place looking for Jesus. I know some of y'all come in here looking for Jesus. But the hard truth is it just can't be some of you. It doesn't work that way. It can't just be some of you. I read this quote the other day and it landed so well on me for this message. And it says this. It said, one pilgrim alone is a zealot, but many pilgrims together, that's a pilgrimage. That's a pilgrimage. See, one of you alone is just something that's happened. It's a one-off. But if all of you together decided, no, not this place, not these walls, not these hearts, not my family, not my community, not my home. Together, that is a movement. That is a pilgrimage in a direction where honestly I want to go. Where I want to go. And that is one choice. And I hope tonight I've mapped out the other choice and not in a good light. Because attractional ministry, it's dangerous. It leaves people broke. It doesn't heal people. It leaves you feeling empty. It's so easy to miss it because it just kind of sneaks by you and slowly starts stealing the spotlight. And that's one choice. But the other choice, the pilgrimage, man, that choice is filled with abounding love. That choice is filled with grace that heals. That choice is a bread you know nothing about and living water. That is the choice I want to be a part of. But if you want to hear about that choice, you're just going to have to come back next week. Because I just want to present you with the dangers. But I want to give you this. I want to ask. I want to be able to look you in the face and know that we're going to do this together because I'm going to do it differently. If you're tired of this attraction, if maybe you've been coming here for the wrong reasons, if maybe something has been sharing the spotlight with what just should have been Christ, I want to know you're going to put it down. And so I'm not asking you to come up and make a decision. If that's what you want to do, come on. But I'm going to say I'm done. I just want to know who else is done. Who else is done? Like, I see some hands. He said he's done. Some people are done over there. Man, 3 hands doesn't make a difference. It has to be a choice we make together.